Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. The left always has the law of unintended consequences, and it's never good. Glad you guys are here. KJRadio.com. You can call the show at 844-551-8255. So we are on the other side of Parkland. We're waiting on the next school attack. And my hope is that Donald Trump can get something done before we have to deal with that. Because we have to rinse and repeat this whole thing all over again. If somebody shoots up a school, or particularly if more than 2 people are killed, then it's going to be a big deal. Now, you can kill all the black folks in Chicago or Detroit or wherever you want, but don't kill them in a school, and don't let it be some white kid who got a hold of his parents' rifle or, God forbid, gets a legal rifle, which is what happened with this one kid. He purchases a legal rifle. How does this kid even get that? How does he get to that? Think about everything that led up to him going into this school and shooting. And the left, they want to blame the rifle. Everything that could have stopped him and didn't. It amazes me. But here's the aftermath. School threats since Parkland. Saw this article, I think it was in the Examiner UK, and it says the chilling school shooting threats made across the country since the Parkland massacre. Dozens of kids have been arrested, including a 10-year-old, all vowing to kill teachers and classmates. See, nobody thought about shooting up schools until leftism got into schools. Nobody ever even thought about it. You went to school to learn. You were told to respect your teacher. And if he or she reported back to, your parents that you were misbehaving, your parents took care of it. It was the discipline of the day. And I'll tell you something. It didn't matter what color you were. Black kids, let me tell you, it did not matter when I got what was his name? Mr. Fields. Mr. Fields. My buddies that listen to the program that grew up with me know what I'm about to say is true. Mr. Fields gave us licks. This is up until the 5th grade. You got licks at school. My millennial producers here look at me like I'm crazy, because if you try to give a kid licks at school today, you'd be thrown under a jail. But we got licks at school from a paddle. And you'd go into the principal's office. He'd tell you what your transgression was. And you'd lean over a desk and pop. He'd tell you, you're getting 2 licks or 3 licks. And he would pop, 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 and you'd get paddled, and you hated it. I mean, I remember they were like, you got to go to the principal's office, and I was just this short of tears. So I go in there, and I wasn't a bad kid, but that particular day I did something wrong. Going to the principal's office, Mr. Fields, he's got the paddle hanging on the wall. He takes it down. It was me and my buddy Dale. I don't know what we were talking, probably talking in class. We bent over, pow, pow. That was it. Get out of here. But here's what was bad. It didn't matter what Mr. Fields did. You knew before you got home that somebody had already told that Kevin's going to get a paddling today. It was already there. So when you get home, if you were living in my house, you were going to get a spanking. It was a double whammy. I didn't care what Mr. Fields was going to do to me. He could only do so much. My grandmother was going to give me the blues, and she did. And I can remember it as if it happened yesterday, other than I don't know what I did, but I was probably talking. It wasn't like I bucked up to the teacher and threatened to hit him or something. I was just talking. She told us not to talk. Me and Dale, we probably kept talking. Or we did sign language, which made her even more mad. And my teacher is still alive that knows Mrs. Appleton. She knows what I'm talking about. She follows the show too. But anyway, if you had said to me somebody threatened to shoot up the school, I would have laughed at you when I was growing up. Nobody threatened to shoot up the school. Everybody had guns. You've heard me talk about this. Everybody had guns. Nobody ever threatened to shoot up the school. We never called it a bomb threat. School was school. We knew what it was for. 10-year-olds vowing to kill their teachers and classmates. Since February 14th, Valentine's Day massacre, there have been at least 38 different threats across the U.S. for schools. 38. Luckily, we haven't had anything significant. But 38 copycats. Think of it any way you want. This is not good news. This is what leftism does. It plants a seed in somebody's head. You're oppressed. Something's wrong with you. And then they go, ooh, Nicholas Cruz just shot up a school. And then they don't blame Cruz. They tell you it's the gun's fault and it's all these other things and all this. They don't tell you it's leftism's fault. And so what happens? All these kids go, well, I'm disgruntled. I'm upset. I'm mad. People have been saying things about me. I've been getting bullied. I'm part of this system. They said most were made by students posting on social media who were underage. In one case, a student took a gun to school, killed himself. Didn't shoot anybody else. How tragic is that? We talk about, the left always talk about saving people, and if we could just save one. They have created such a toxic environment in schools, making little white boys feel like they're worthless, telling all boys they've got toxic masculinity, telling young girls that they have some advantage over boys now. Bullying goes on all the time. Let me put it to you this way. You want to know how you could end bullying in schools instantaneously if you wanted to do it? Not all of it, but most of it. You want to know how? Uniforms. The uniforms and how you wear your hair. You could end it. It's like military. You can't talk. What are you going to do? You're going to laugh at somebody's head because he doesn't have any hair? You don't have any hair either. So if you just instituted uniforms and you instituted some sort of a thing on hygiene and what have you, you'd eradicate 80+% of bullying right there. Because people bully when they see, oh, your shoes are old, or you can't wear this, or you wore that stuff yesterday, or whatever. You get rid of it. If they wanted to get rid of it, they would do that. It's very simple. And it would save parents a ton of money. You know why they don't want to do it? Because it would actually work. And it would be a cost savings to the parents. They don't want that. They want you to go to school in need. They want you to go to school and need the lunch program. How much would a family save if they had 5 outfits, 5 shirts, 5 pair of pants, 5 skirts, whatever, mix and match however you want, uniforms that kids wore to school every day? So parents aren't spending a fortune in clothes to make people look, to keep up with the Joneses. How many other ways could they save? Think about it. Could a school system buy all of the office supplies and what have you in bulk and then offer a complete discount, whatever the big discount is that they would get if we weren't buying it at, say, a Walmart or a Kmart or whatever, and they said, we're going to provide these at a discount and you save 50%. Then these families could do their own lunches and things like that. If they did any of this, it would be that's how we would run it. I'm just telling you, if we were as conservatives, that's how I would run it. I would say we're going to buy in bulk and we're going to give all this back to the kids. In fact, I would figure out a way to pay for it out of the taxpayers' fund so no kid would have to worry about that stuff. I'd say it's going to be provided for you. There's enough money in the system. $12,000 to $15,000 per student in a 30-person class. Believe me, there's plenty of money. Here's another one. This guy the one who killed himself, planned to commit murder and a mass murder, but he changed his mind in the last minute, shot himself and killed him. They said not all of these threats were serious. Some kids say we were trying to be funny or trying to stall classes. They say it's a frightening trend and police need to act swiftly. Now it's a cop problem. They said dozens of teens across the country face felony charges and jail time. And you can bet if it's any teen of color, they're going to say, nope, you're free to go, whatever. It's going to end up being nothing but white boys. And I'm not advocating for them on their behalf. They can take care of themselves. But I'm telling you who's going to end up carrying the brunt of this. It'll be white boys. I talked about whether it's the statistics of, how they're letting these kids get away with stuff, or if we want to talk about cops. And they said, somebody actually said that having more cop presence in schools is actually racist because black kids are going to get caught up in the criminal justice system, which speaks to the last point I made. They'll just let the black kids go. So what you called in a threat of violence against teachers and students or whatever because you wanted to delay class a little bit. Why would you do it? School that bad? Sure seems like it. So I look at all these things and you measure against it and you say to yourself, well, why are we here? We're here because the over glorification, if you will, of the Parkland incident has led to these 38 incidents and counting. And it's cost somebody, a little kid, his life. I haven't researched who it is, but I'll tell you this. I believe if that kid was in a different system, he would have been much more well-adjusted and capable of dealing with his life, as opposed to going up to a school and committing suicide in front of his teachers and his students. Just imagine that.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.